First of all, I thought I'd apologise for my wet hair. Had a bad night with the kids last night and everything's just gone to pots this morning, and didn't have enough time to dry my hair. Anyway, that's not important. I was just going to talk a bit about postnatal depression, something that I'm really going to try not to weep on this video. I don't want to weep on every video. But yeah, I had Rocco first 8.5 years ago, and obviously had wobbly days, which are very, very, very normal after having any baby during breastfeeding and any hormonal period. I had days where I really felt like I wasn't coping, but then the next day would feel much better, and I think that's very, very normal and not to be confused with postnatal depression. Katie and I have always called them wobbly days, and she had given me a call, and there were days when I just couldn't pick up the phone because I was just really teary, and I just had to send her a message back saying I'm sorry, having a wobbly day, and then we could just be a bit aware of each other and make sure that we both came out of it the next day. And Katie also had the same thing after Tilda, and it's become our kind of ongoing thing. When you're having a tough day with the kids and you don't want to talk, possibly because you can't, you let your friend know you're having a wobbly day. It became our code word. It's really important not to get that mixed up with postnatal depression, because I had those wobbly days with baby number 1, baby number 2. Baby number 3, there was something really, really different that I didn't notice. I've always been a bit of a control freak, and always very tidy, very clean person naturally. Loved to have a clean, tidy house, even though I used to do a lot of arts and crafts with my kids. The house would always be clean and tidy and ready for guests. And I also had very high standards with parenting. I've worked with children in the past, loved being with children, loved having my own children. So first time and second time round, had very high standards, and I think I managed to keep those high standards most of the time. Had baby number 3, and I think what started a downward spiral for me was feeling like I had lost control of all the things that I had felt so in control of first and second time round. I felt like I just couldn't find the time to tidy my house, couldn't find the time to clean my house. I used to hoover all the time, and I couldn't find the time or the energy to hoover. I just felt like control over my life was slipping away from me, and my high standards as a parent also started to go, and I really, really struggled with that. I felt like I couldn't sit down and play a board game with my kids. I couldn't sit down with them and give them the time with arts and crafts that I needed to. And even if I did find the time to do arts and crafts with them, I didn't have the time to clean up afterwards because I was breastfeeding or dealing with baby with reflux. And I just wasn't coping, to be honest. I didn't really see that happening. Like, I can look back at it now and it's very obvious what happened, what went wrong, but at the time I didn't see it. Was very, very teary and felt like I'd had too many kids. I can remember speaking to a lady at school and her saying, we're thinking of going for number 3, and me saying, I can really recommend you don't. I can really recommend you stick with 2, because number 3 tips you over the edge. You can't cope with 3, it's ridiculous, it's, you know, too hard work. She was actually already pregnant, so that was really great. When I found out a few weeks later, felt really bad about that. But I didn't realise how negative I'd become, and it actually took 2 of my best friends, Katie and Catherine, who both told me within about a week of each other that I needed to sort myself out and perhaps accept that I had postnatal depression. Katie took me out one evening and just said, you're really down. I don't see you smile anymore. We never have a giggle together. And my friend Catherine phoned me up and told me that she doesn't really want to ask me how I am anymore, because it was always a negative response. I always had a complaint to make. and life was always really difficult, and I was really busy, and there was never had anything good to say about anyone or anything, and I really didn't realise how bad that had got until two best friends pointed it out to me. And then my next health visitor visit, I took Ozzy in, and I just cried about stuff generally, which I think I've done with my health visitor Caroline a million times. And I think she sees it quite a lot. And I said to her, I'm wondering whether maybe I've got a bit of postnatal depression, I'm not really sure. And her main question to me was, are you still enjoying motherhood and being a parent? And I can remember thinking, no, I'm not. I'm not enjoying any of it. I've started to hate everything about parenting. I'm feeling like I'm out of control of my house and my kids. But I didn't tell her that. I said, no, I'm still really enjoying parenting, and everything's fine. I'm not starting to hate my kids at all. And actually all of that was going on. And I lied about it, and I drove away from that meeting and thought, I've just told the health visitor that I am still enjoying parenting, and I'm not at all. I'd got really, really down and not seen it. Yeah, I don't know what to say now, really. I guess most important thing would be that you don't mix up your down days with postnatal depression. This was a blackness every day, every minute of every day. And my friends, there was never a smile anymore. My friends, pulled me up on it at the point where I was just unhappy all the time, and that's depression. It's, I was down and not enjoying my kids, which for me is everything I am not. It's taken me 3 years. Ozzy's now 3. I'd say it took me 3 years, and I had to see a counsellor as well to try and work out what it was. I thought my marriage was going down the pan, because I wasn't just, depression isn't just feeling down. You're taking it out on people. I was taking it out on the kids. I was taking it out on Guy. It was hideous for everybody around me. I think I was really lucky that I got help when I needed it. And I also think I was really lucky that I had amazing friends around me, because I've still got my friends, and they stuck with me through years of being down and not wanting to accept that it was all actually me, and not the situation that I was in. But I did get help eventually, and I did see a counsellor, and I did get to a point where I accepted I had postnatal depression. And it was really tough, really, really difficult getting to that point. But I do feel like I'm out the other side of it now. I can smile again. But it's been really, really difficult. So I guess I would finish by just saying, go and get some help and talk to your health visitor about it. I could have got help a lot earlier if I'd have realised that I had postnatal depression, and if I'd admitted to the health visitor that I wasn't enjoying parenting anymore. Luckily I had great friends that did help me, so please go and get some help, and please talk to somebody about it before you get really, really low, and to a point where everybody around you is suffering.